about sabbatical, I think about higher education and professors in tweed jackets who have earned tenure and finally have the chance to spend a semester working on what they're passionate about and recharging their tank. And if we haven't already learned enough lessons from the educators in our life, I feel like there's a new lesson here that we can apply, and it's from that sabbatical that they are able to take. So when I started thinking about this, my mind immediately went to the word Sabbath. And Sabbath is a faith-based term, and sabbatical is a non-faith-based term. And when you think about them, they're both based on the idea of rest. Rest and downtime are really critical to leaders, and a lot of leaders fake taking time off. So they go and they work from somewhere else, or they go and they're constantly distracted by the device in their pocket, or they just spend a few hours in the morning and I'm just going to take care of the email and then I'm going to get on to my vacation. And this is not true sabbatical. This is not true rest. So, I've shared a story before about Bill Gates, and what he used to do is go out into the woods and fully disconnect for a week. He would get a cabin, and the important things for him were one, he could do a lot of reading. Two, he could be alone with his thoughts and not be bombarded by outside input. And this would allow him to think clearly and shape his thoughts about what the future of Microsoft would look like. So while you may not be able to take a week off, I think that there's a lesson here that we can build sabbatical into our lives. So, it might start by actually taking a weekend and not being on your work email, connecting with those things that refill your tank. So that might be a hobby, that might be spending time with your family, it might be sitting outside on a beautiful day like this. So how do you find true rest? And this takes time. It doesn't turn off immediately. So it's a practice like anything else. You have to build it into your routine. I think it takes at least 60 days. I was reading a story this morning on LinkedIn, and this guy, has made a change in his life. And after 60 days, he was checking in, and it still was not fully, in place for him. So it does take time. So, I would encourage you, though, to build sabbatical into your life. This week was able to, I've taken up fly fishing over the last couple of years, and I was able to go out in the morning and get in a little bit of fly fishing prior to starting my workday. And I felt so much more energy, I felt connection, and it just changed my day. And so why can't I do that on a more frequent basis, and why can't you do that on a more frequent basis? So there's always something that's going to be pulling on you to not do this, and you have to fight against that. You have to build in sabbatical and rest into your routine. And if you do that, it'll help you have a greater impact and be a better leader. As always, we look for things that are going to help you be a better and more purposeful leader, so check them out. Thanks.